The tension in Combat Theory 301 had been building for weeks. Aubriella sat at her desk in the back row of the Galactic Academy's largest lecture hall. Her dark eyes focused on the holographic display showing various species' physiological weaknesses. Beside her, Deshawn drummed his fingers against the desk, a habit that drove their Zetherian classmates absolutely insane. Humans, hissed Krathzel, a towering Valkyrian warrior with forearms and chitinous armor plating. Always so confident, so arrogant. Your species has been in space for barely 2 centuries, yet you act as though you own the stars. Aubriella didn't look up. She'd heard it all before. The Galactic Council had been reluctant to admit humanity to the Academy, and species like the Valkyrian made sure the human cadets never forgot it. We're just trying to learn. Same as you, Deshawn said evenly, though his jaw tightened. Learn? Krathzel laughed, a sound like grinding metal. You deaf-worlders think your primitive planet makes you special. High gravity, toxic atmosphere, predators everywhere. It means nothing here. Among civilized species, the instructor, an elderly Paxian with translucent skin, had stepped out momentarily. That was all the invitation Krathzel needed. He slammed one of his massive hands onto Deshawn's desk, cracking the composite material. Stand up, human. Let's see how tough you really are. Deshawn remained seated, his expression neutral. Not interested. I said stand up. Krathzel grabbed Deshawn's uniform collar and yanked him to his feet. In an instant, 9 other alien cadets, Valkyrians, Thoraxians, and even 2 of the usually peaceful glimmers surrounded the humans. Forming a hostile circle, Aubriella rose slowly, her chair scraping against the floor. You really don't want to do this, one human female, sneered a Thoraxian, its crystalline exoskeleton refracting light in sharp angles. This will be entertaining. What the aliens failed to understand, what most species in the galaxy couldn't comprehend, was what it meant to evolve on Earth, a planet where gravity was 1.3 times galactic standard, where the atmospheric pressure could crush most alien life forms, where humanity's ancestors had clawed their way to the top of a food chain. Filled with apex predators, Krathzel threw the first punch, a haymaker that would have shattered a Paxian's skull. Deshawn simply wasn't there anymore. He ducked under the blow with a speed that seemed impossible for his size, his Earth-trained reflexes operating in what appeared to be slow motion to him. His counter-strike was a precise jab to Krathzel's lower torso, right where Aubriella had pointed out the Valkyrian respiratory cluster. During their study session last week, the alien's forearms flailed as he gasped for air, stunned that a primitive human had hit him at all, let alone with enough force to wind him. Deshawn. 6 o'clock, Aubriella called out calmly. As if they were sparring in practice, Deshawn spun, catching a Thoraxian's crystalline fist in his palm. The alien's eyes widened in shock. Humans shouldn't be able to stop such a strike. But Deshawn's bones were 3 times denser than theirs, his muscles forged under Earth's relentless pull. He twisted the arm, and the Thoraxian's crystalline structure shattered with a sound like breaking glass. Meanwhile, Aubriella had already dropped to glimmers with precise strikes to their neural clusters. Her smaller frame moved like water, flowing around attacks that would have connected with slower species. On Earth, she'd trained in mixed martial arts since she was 6. Here, against aliens who'd evolved on gentler worlds, she was devastatingly effective. A Valkyrian charged at her from behind. Without looking, Aubriella dropped low and swept its legs that weren't designed to handle Earth-like gravity, let alone a combat-trained human targeting their weak points. The alien crashed to the floor, and Aubriella's elbow strike to its thorax kept it there, for down. Deshawn grunted, blocking a flurry of strikes from the Thoraxians simultaneously. He caught one by the throat and used its momentum to throw it into its companion. Both crumpled to the ground in a tangle of limbs and shattered crystal. The remaining aliens hesitated. This wasn't supposed to happen. Humans were newcomers, primitives from a backwater world. They weren't supposed to be winning. Krathzel, finally catching his breath, roared and charged at Aubriella with all 4 arms extended. She sidestepped at the last possible moment, her Earth-honed spatial awareness reading his trajectory perfectly. As he passed, she struck the back of his knee joint, another weakness she'd memorized from their classes. The massive Valkyrian went down hard, 7, Aubriella counted. A Thoraxian grabbed Deshawn from behind in what should have been an immobilizing hold. On their home world, with 0.6 Earth gravity, it would have been. Here, Deshawn simply flexed, his human musculature breaking the grip like it was made of paper. He reversed the hold and threw the alien across 3 rows of desks. The last 2 aliens, both glimmers, backed away, their bioluminescent skin flickering with fear. "This isn't possible," one whispered. "The statistics. The combat simulations humans shouldn't. Your simulations didn't account for one thing," Aubriella said, breathing only slightly harder than normal. "We're from Earth, every single day of our lives, from the moment we're born. We're training under conditions that would kill most of you. Our gravity, our weather, our predators. Our diseases, they made us into something your peaceful worlds never could." Deshawn cracked his knuckles, the sound making the glimmers flinch. "We didn't want this fight, but we finished it." The door hissed open, and the Paxian instructor floated in, his translucent eyes widening at the scene. 10 alien cadets were on the ground, groaning, while 2 humans stood in the center of the wreckage, barely winded. What happened here?" the instructor demanded. Kraftzel struggled to his feet, his pride more damaged than his body. They attacked us, unprovoked." "Actually," came a mechanical voice from the corner. "I recorded everything." A maintenance drone hovered forward, its optical sensors whirring. The non-human cadets initiated hostilities. The humans responded with remarkable restraint, using non-lethal techniques only. The instructor looked from the drone to the humans to the pile of defeated aliens. "Cadets Aubriella and Deshawn, you will come with me to file a report. The rest of you medical bay." Now, as they walked through the corridors, Aubriella and Deshawn could feel the stares from other students. By evening, the story would spread across the entire academy. 2 humans, 10 aliens. Decisive victory. "You think this will make things worse?" Deshawn asked quietly. Aubriella smiled slightly. "Maybe. Or maybe they'll finally understand that humanity didn't claw its way to the stars just to be pushed around." In the days that followed, something shifted in the Galactic Academy. The human cadets were no longer dismissed as primitives or death worlders with delusions of adequacy. They were recognized for what they truly were, survivors from a world that had forged them into something extraordinary. And in Combat Theory 301, no one ever underestimated the humans again.